So I've been having such a good time making fun of fuckboy fanboys regarding Marvel and Star Wars, but particularly Marvel because now, because of these fuckboy fanboys, Marvel fans are starting to be identified as bad as Star Wars. And I've noticed this phenomenon, and this is the way that I frame it in my mind. And I don't think I'm wrong. I don't think I'm wrong. I feel like the MCU of Phase 4 is getting the black woman treatment. Something that I call the black woman treatment as it pertains to shit in the workplace. Now, hear me out. Let me explain. And this happens to people of color, period. But as a black woman, like, we know in the workplace, like, we can't do anything right. At all, no matter what. When it comes to our personality, like, if we're too bubbly and happy and friendly, then we're doing too much. We're just too over the top. If we are introverted and silent, then we're mean. We're standoffish. We need to engage with the team more. Just no matter what, like, nothing we do is right. Trust me, like, back in my very abusive situation in the Air Force, I literally got almost career-ending paperwork for being too happy. Can't make that up. And these are things that like white men get praised for in the workplace. If a white man is very excited and like peppy, then it's like, oh, he's passionate. And if he's introverted and quiet, and it's like, well, he just, keeps to himself. He's very focused. It's like, it's either treated with indifference or positivity. And and also we have, like, as black women and people of color in general, but especially black women, we have a fear of being anything less than perfect, because it has been proven to us over and over again that if we make any little mistake, other mistakes that other people like might just get brushed under the rug or get a slap on the wrist for and be like, oh, it happens. Like, our careers are literally in danger. Like, I literally just told you I got paperwork for being too happy, right? Like, any little mistake that we make can be met with such fucking aggression, paperwork, like impromptu performance reviews and plans. Like the discrimination is just so bad that a lot of us have this crippling fear of doing anything wrong, of doing anything mediocre. Mediocrity, where it's accepted with other people, is just not an option for us, because mediocrity is framed as failure for us. We have to be perfect. We have to be model Negroes all the time. Like, we have to be perfect in every fucking way. It is so debilitating. It is so stressful. Now, how am I applying this to current Marvel? Now, granted, TikTok and social media wasn't popping in phases 1 through 3 the way it is now. But I think we all know that phase 4 has been characterized by a lot of inclusion. Is it perfect inclusion and representation? Absolutely fucking not. Absolutely fucking not. But you know what? It's there. It's moving in that direction. Even the imperfect shit is pissing off white fuckboy fanboys. Or, I mean, honestly, not just white fuckboy fanboys. Like, just fuckboy fanboys in general. A lot of them happen to be white. Some of them are not. But they've been saying that Marvel's going downhill because of phase 4. And the thing is, like, have there been some mediocre projects in the last year and a half? Maybe, like, middle of the road stuff from Marvel? Yeah, for sure. And it's definitely very important to critique media. Like, none of that shit is perfect, and we need to keep on critiquing it. But to say that Marvel is going downhill in phase 4 because because of a few mediocre projects, and it just happens to maybe a few projects that might be viewed as mediocre, right? Because it all depends on the eye of the beholder. And and coincidentally, because of the fact that the storylines in the movies are aligning more with marginalized people, it's getting criticism that they're acting like phases 1, 2, and 3 never could have. Like, it's so disconnected. Is this? I don't know what's going on. What the fuck do you think phase 1 was? What do you think world building is? You think that Endgame just popped up out of nowhere? I know you don't. I know you know that it didn't. There weren't mediocre projects in phases 1, 2, and 3. There weren't. So why wasn't it going downhill then? It's going downhill now, but it's not. But it wasn't going downhill then, right? Because that was okay. But maybe one or two works that some people just don't gel with during this phase, and all of a sudden the MCU is going downhill. Now, some of these people come out and say it straight up. They're like, oh, MCU, it's too much representation, I don't like it. Some of them say it straight up. And then some of them use these other forms of criticism that's very often levied on Black women in the workplace. They're very just very, very tiny nitpicky things that on anybody else would be just, well, that's the way it goes. But on us, it could be career ending. And I think that they're getting the treatment because more of these stories are associated with representation of marginalized people, of women, of Black, Indigenous people of color, of queer people, of disabled people. And because now in their minds it is aligned with people that look like us, people that walk through the world like us, now that in their minds it's aligned with not being for them anymore, because they don't get to see as many white men on screen anymore, literally the way that it's been in cinema for fucking ever. Because in their minds, now it's for us, now it's ours, like we've stolen it or some shit. Because in their minds, that's what it is. Now it's getting the Black woman treatment from them, because now every single thing that they do that happens in the MCU that might be imperfect is now a sign of the times, a sign of its decline, a sign that, Marvel is just really slipping, it's really going downhill. Spare me. Fucking spare me. All of these things that phases 1, 2, and 3 are completely guilty of as well. And all of that brought us to Endgame. Iconic. Amazing. Never will be another movie experience like that. Maybe. I don't know. No Way Home was close. Also, I don't think it's coincidence that the only thing in phase 4 that these fuckboy fanboys fap over is No Way Home. I wonder what's different about that one fucking movie in the scores of movies and shows that have been put out lately. That's just the observation that I've made. But I want to put the cherry on top by saying that because we know that you fuckboy fanboys are giving it this treatment, and why, like, we just really don't care about you anymore. Like, if your words are ever like actually considered as valid, they're becoming less and less valid. Like, people are sick and tired of these guys. Like, a lot of us are quickly separating from these toxic ass people that are like giving Marvel fans a bad name. And I personally don't take it that fucking seriously, because like there's bad people in every fandom, but it's just been an uptick lately for obvious reasons. We just don't care about you anymore. Like, and you know what? Even if a show or a movie is kind of middle of the road, guess what? I am going to probably stand it no matter what, as long if there's representation, if we're moving in a direction where I get to see people that look like me, more like me, where queer people get to see queer people, queer representation, where disabled people get to see more representation, like as long as that's fucking happening, I really don't care. And you know what? I'm here for it. Acting like there's never been a fucking mediocre movie made by a white man in forever. Much less Marvel, just cinema in general. But no, I don't like it. I'm gonna be on team representation no matter what. And even if it's like a meh work, I'm like, who fucking cares? I'm just glad that we're starting to see more of us, more marginalized people, more of us being represented. Media is so important for self-image, for like, you know, kids growing up being able to see people that look like them and walk through the world like them on screen. That's what's most important. That's what's most important to me. So I don't really care. And I see what you fuckboys are doing. We all see it. We all see it. And so by now, like, you're not hurting anybody's feelings, really. You're just screaming into the wind. You're already a joke. You're already a clown car. Um, and just so you know, most of us are just getting entertainment from watching you explode. You're not making any real waves. You're just a joke.